Yeah, good morning, my dears. I'm your social science teacher. You are promoted from 6th standard to 7th standard. Today we are going to be start history part. Already in 6th standard, you are reading history around 11 lesson. I think so. Okay, so half of the lesson of 6th standard is following to 7th standard also. So in 7th standard, you are going to be studying about medieval history. Okay, already in 6th standard, I said to you, we have three different divisions of history. So one is early history, second is medieval history, and third is modern history. Okay, so early history already you read. Now we are going to be discuss about medieval history. So what is the time? What is the period is called as medieval history means around 700 BC to 1750 BC. So this 1000 years only called as medieval period. Why they say this period is medieval means this particular time, this 1000 years, lot of changes happened in our Indian subcontinent. Okay, so what are the changes happened in our subcontinent and how it was happened? Everything we are going to be discuss upcoming lessons. Okay, so in 7th standard you have 10 lessons in history. Okay, so 10 lesson. The first lesson is introduction lesson. What are the things you are going to be studying the next 9 lesson? Those things are introduced in the first lesson. Okay, so the first lesson is tracing changes through 1000 years. This is your first lesson. The second lesson, how new kingdoms and kings formed. Okay, how the new kingdoms were formed. And third lesson and fourth lesson, Delhi Sultanates and the Mughal Empire. So those are who are called sultans. Delhi Sultan means which people they are coming from. Persia. So which is called Persia means which one is called as a Persia means present day Iran, Iraq, the Turkey, those area only called as Persia in those days. Okay, so the people they are coming to India, they started to rule. Okay, that things and all we are going to be discuss third and fourth lesson. Okay, fifth and sixth lesson, what are the changes happened in the architecture method. Okay, a new style of building construction, a new style of temple construction, everything happened in that period. After that we are going to be discuss what will happen for tribes people. Okay, that is we are going to be discussing 7th lesson. And the religious changes, what the religious changes happened, that also we are going to be discuss in 8th lesson. So 9th lesson and 10th lesson, how the British people started to comes to India and how they started to involve trading, everything we are going to be discussed in 9th and 10th lesson. So almost 10 lessons are very important. So suppose in your neighbors or in your brothers or sisters they are preparing for government exam means this part, particularly medieval India and modern India is very important. So they are referring our books alone. Why I said means you should know the importance of history. That's why I said. So let us move to the class. Today class, tracing change through 1000 years. So in this particular lesson, what we are going to be discuss means what are the changes particularly from 8th century. 8th century means the year of 700 to the first of 18th century. Okay, 1007 up to 1750 the changes happened, that alone called as medieval period. Here I gave the definition. The period from the second half of the 8th century up to the first half of the 18th century known as the medieval period. So what are the topic we are going to be discuss this lesson? What means changes took place of 1000 years, and what are the changes took place, that we are going to be discussing first topic. And the second topic already I said, the emergency of emerged of a new kingdoms. Okay, Delhi Sultanate, like Mughal Empire, that and all we are going to discuss. And third, new and old terminology. So already in 6th standard you studied about how the India gets its name, what way we are getting our country name, that and all we discussed. Now the same, like in this period India gets some other name also, and that name that names how emerged, that we are going to discuss under this topic. And then the sources of history. So in this particular topic, the paper was started to use in that period, how they started to use paper, where they are save the manuscripts and inscription, those things under we are going to be discussed under the fourth topic. Okay, so next one is new social and political group. So what do you mean by new and social political group? Means already I said many people, particularly many Muslim people, they have started to come India and they started to settle and they started to rule. While they are coming to India, the religion also comes to us, comes to here, and that religious impact reflected in the political issue also. So that also we are going to be discussed. And yeah, again new and social religious. Okay, how Hindu was Hinduism was very famous in India. Same like the time of starting of 18th century, the British people, the Euro people, they started to come to India. So already Muslim Islam spread in India. So the beginning of 18th century, Christianity also started to spread in India. That also we are going to be discuss the topic. And the last topic, how last year we discussed, no, Indian history is divided into three categories: early history, medieval history, and modern history. Like that, the British people, when they started to come here, when they started to rule here, they divide Indian history into three categories. What are the three categories? Means Hindu period, Muslim period, and British period. Like that, they segregate. That we are going to be discussing last topic. So these topic alone we are going to be discuss elaborate manner next. Yes, my dear, just look at this picture. Can you identify anything in this picture? Can you get any idea from this picture? What describes this picture? Yeah, I think so you have no idea, right? Yeah. Next I am going to be show one more picture. Suppose you can understand anything, we will see. Yeah, just look this picture now. Yeah, this is map of our country. Whether this map is too similar at present what we use, whether this map is exact India map? No. Why? Because lot of places are missed or they marked in wrong manner, particularly the Ganga river, and then some states here they mention some states. Some small informations are marked in somewhat wrong. Okay, not full the map is wrong, but some very little mistakes or little changes while they draw the map. Okay, so what now we are going to be discuss means about the map, the creation of map. Okay, yeah, let's we move the topic. Now we see two pictures. Okay, the two pictures I pasted in this chart. Both are map alone. Okay, this is also map and this is also map. This is also India map and this too India map. You can ask me why, ma'am, this is not look like India. Like that you can ask. Yeah, this map was drawn by Arab cartographer. His name was Al-Idrishi. Okay, so Arab cartographer draw India map this manner. Okay, cartographer, who is called cartographer means a person who makes map. Okay, so nowadays suppose we are going to tailoring shop, we ordered to stitch some dress, means we call that person who stitched that particular dress, means he is called as a tailor, no, like that. Who makes map, that person is called as cartographer. Okay, so this first map 1, this first map was drawn by Al-Idrishi, who belongs to Arab countries. Arab countries means Iran, Iraq, Persia. I said no. He belongs to that country. Okay. So when he draw this map, means the year of 1154. Okay, 1154 CE. CE means here common era. Okay, 1154 CE. Why I said this information means in those days means the time of 1154, 1100, that time many Arab traders, they are coming to trading purpose for South India. Okay, so many Arab traders, they are coming to trade for South India. So what they decide, what they understand means India means the South India was on the top of India, and they don't know many things about northern part. Okay, at present North India know about north part. The Arab traders, they don't know about north part. So they draw the South India is the top. Okay, in the north part, and this is Sri Lanka. You know very well Sri Lanka is located the south part of India, but the Arab traders, the Arab cartographer, he draw top of India, top of the India map. He draw the Sri Lanka. So he draw somewhat ulta manner. Okay, why? Because the particular person, the cartographer, he not even comes to India. What he understand from the traders, what he hears about India from the traders. So with the help of that understanding, with the help of that information alone, he draw the map. That's why the map was ulta. And then in this map, suppose you look, after that I will send the particular page, scanned page. In that lesson, they are using some Arab language. Why? Because Persian language or Arab language. Why? Because they are belongs to Arabian sides. That's why they are using that words. Even that some places name also wrote in different manner. Okay, not exact name. They are not give the exact name. Some different name they mention. Okay, second we are moving to second map. Okay, this map was drawn by a French cartographer. Okay, a French cartographer only draw the second map. Okay, in the year of 1720. Okay, the year of 1720, almost 600 years different. Okay, from first map and second map, what is the time different is 600 years. Okay, so the second map was drawn by a French cartographer. This map also have some small, they missed some small events, but almost somewhat they tried to draw somewhat correct map. Okay, so who used this map? The second map was used by European sailors and merchants. Why European sailors and merchants used this map means, see, the year of 1700, around 1700 time only, many European traders comes to India. That's why they are using this map. Okay, so what is the major difference of these two map means the time period. Okay, time period, and then the structure of map, that is the main difference. And what are the similarity of these two map is particularly the port. Port means the harbor. Okay, the port area, two maps are marked a somewhat exact manner. Okay, that is the similarity of the map. And what is the difference means the language. The second map, they are using English language, and the first map they are using Arab language. So the language different, and then the same like the place name. Suppose Calcutta suppose in South India nowadays we have Madras or Puducherry or some other place, means the map 1 they mention somewhat different name, and map 2 they mention somewhat other name. Okay, so the name also changed. This is the common differences of these two maps. Why they are eager to draw India map means that time India was a very big economic developed country. So many traders they comes to India. They have trading deals with India. That's why many people they eagerly try to make our India map. We are going to be started to discuss about new and old terminology. Okay, so what do you mean by terminology? Whether you hear this word terminology? Terminology is nothing but language. Okay, so new language and old language. What happened the old language and what happened new language during this 1000 period? So what 1000 period means? The year of 750 CE to 1750 CE. So up to this period, what are the things changed in the language that we are going to be discuss now? Okay, so in that time many historical records exist in various language, not only one language. Nowadays our official records everything mentioned in English language. As for Indian government, all the state they are using official language as English language, and the particular states they can use their own language. Like Tamil Nadu means Tamil Nadu use Tamil language in its official language. Okay, it's common all over India. The official language is English. But in those days, many languages were used for recording some events. Okay, so what are the languages used in those days? Last year you studied, right? Prakrit exists. Prakrit, the language spoken by the normal people, particularly Magadha and surrounding area people, they are using Prakrit language. And Sanskrit language, in that Sanskrit language only all the events, all the records, particular manuscripts and inscriptions were written in Sanskrit language. When these things, when the Sanskrit was used means before 750. Okay, before 750 CE, the Sanskrit plays important role. But after 750 also Sanskrit exists, but some other new language also comes to India. What are the languages means? Persian language, particularly Persian language, when the Muslim rulers started to rule India, the Persian language comes to India. Next, English. So when the European people started to rule India, that time English comes to here. Like that, various languages was used for events recording. Okay, so here I wrote one of the word Hindustan. Okay, last year also we studied about how India gets in name, like that we studied last year also. Here in that particular time, like 750 to 1750, that time, the term Hindustan how used means, one of the historian, his name was Minhaj I-Siraj. Okay, Minhaj I-Siraj. He was from Persia. He was lived in 13th century. He mentioned our country Hindustan. Okay, so which part he in his record he mentioned India, which are included in his record means present day Punjab, present day Haryana, the land mass between Ganga and Yamuna river bank side, particularly Uttar Pradesh. So these three states only he said as Hindustan. Okay, so he is not giving more important South India. Okay, so South Indian states he is not included as Hindustan. So in his term, in his reference, he said Hindustan means these three places only. Okay, so from northwest to from northeast, these states alone he considered as a India. Okay, so the time of Babur ruling time. Okay, you know very well Babur only the founder of Mughal dynasty, that things and how he started to rule India, that things and all we will discuss. And third lesson. So when Babur was ruled India, he also mentioned Hindustan, the term Hindustan. In what way he mentioned means about the geographical features and flora, fauna, and some religious, the practice of people. Based off these things, he gave the name Hindustan. He used the term Hindustan. Same like one of the poet, his name was Amar Khusro. Okay, Amar Khusro. He lived in 14th century. He also used the term Hindustan because of Hind, religious Hind. Okay, so various people they use the term Hindustan, but these three people, what they mention Hindustan, they are not added South India in their part. Okay, so clear. So how the people use the use the name to their period. Okay, let us come to next part, foreigner. So now at present foreigner means you know very well who is coming from India from abroad, who is not belongs as Indians. Okay, Indian who is not Indian citizenship, they are called as foreigner. Okay, so but in those days foreigner means a person who came from other village. Suppose you are living one village, your new person come from another village means he is called as a foreigner. Like that only in those days people used. So in Indian language, in Hindi, foreigner, how the Hindi language used people use the foreigner means Pardeshi. Okay, Pardeshi means a foreigner. Okay, who came from other country or other village, they are called as Pardeshi. The same in Persian language, how the people was called means Ajnabi. Okay, so Ajnabi, Pardesi, so both term mentioned, those are coming from other place of the particular village or particular country in those days. Okay, so nowadays India means all the places called as India, particularly from Jammu and Kashmir to Tamil Nadu. So almost 38 states, 29 states covered under India. But in those days, so one person going from Tamil Nadu, from south, Chola dynastics, he is going to from Chola dynastics to he is going to Chalukya dynastic means that particular Chola person called as foreigner. Okay, so same country, but the people segregate according to their the place where they lived.
Start.
So next we are going to discuss historians and their sources. Even last year also we discussed what are the sources of history. Okay, the prehistory, when we study prehistory, the people don't know how to read and write first. That we discuss later. They start ruling, the king's ruling time. They started to inscribe their orders, their ruling methodology, some special information, everything they started to write, the inscriptions and manuscripts, everything we discussed last year too. Okay, so for understanding the past, historians who are research, who was involved in researching history, they are rally upon coins, inscriptions, architecture, textual record. What do you mean by here? I mentioned the word rally. Rally means they depend upon Swandi coin for understanding past, and we depend only inscription for understanding past. The same like architecture, the construction style of building. Sometimes in that building they inscribe something. Okay, and then some textual records. Textual records means the manuscripts. Okay, so these things only help historians to understand past. These things, these everything was up to 12th century alone. So in the time of 13th century, okay, the 13th century, when Arab traders comes to India, okay, Arab traders comes to India, they introduce paper to India. Okay, so before 13th century, Indian people, they don't know what is paper and what is this use. They don't know anything about paper. But after 13th century, Arab merchants, they introduced paper. Nowadays, you know very well about use of paper, and you know very well how to waste paper. Often you tap the page and you are making some craft in that paper. Okay, but in that particular time, the time of 13th century, they are introducing paper in India, but they are not able to get more paper. Why? Because there is no printing machines in that time. They are using a very difficult method for making paper. So they are using paper very limited manners only. Okay, that's why often we said, whenever we are using OneNote, we are making one page or one note, means we have to going to destroy one tree. Okay, so we have to save our nature, means we should not waste the paper. Okay, that you have to keep your mind. So yeah, we come to lesson. 13th century Arab merchants, they introduced the paper. So what happened after introduced the paper means, the 13th century onwards, many foreign rulers, they started to rule India, I said before itself. Okay, so what the king said means, they translate our Indian epics like Mahabharata, medicine rich books, everything they translate to their languages. Okay, suppose the Arab kings, the Muslim kings, they are using Persian as their official language. So many holy books were translated into their language, from our Indian language to their language. Okay, and then to maintaining records, king's records, everything maintaining the paper, by paper, and then holy text like Quran, like Christian Bible or Gita, everything they have started to write in the paper. And some saints means like Buddha, Mahavira, like that, their teaching and what they said to the society, everything they have started to copy in that paper. Okay, so everything they started to use paper. Okay, so what happened in that time of translating? I said before, no, some information, some medicinal related things they are writing in manuscripts and inscription. So that thing gonna translate to their Persian language, like that I said, no. So when they are going to translate these things, the translator face lot of problem. Suppose I gave homework to you today, you are not complete the homework. Next day, when you comes to class, suppose you ask your friend whether you complete the homework, like that you ask your friend. He said, yeah, I complete, like that he said, means you just get his note and you try to complete your homework. You are just try to copy the homework. That time the particular boy's handwriting is not nice or somewhat difficult to you, means what you understand. Suppose what he write, suppose you are going to see doctor, he gave some prescription, that it is easy to read what he write. Definitely we can't able to read what he write. The particular medical person only know what he is writing. Like that, in the manuscripts and the inscription, the time of translating time, the translator face lot of problem. So that's why many translator involving the translating activity. The same text, suppose we are taking Bhagavad Gita or Tirukural, Thiruvalluvar wrote Tirukural. No, Tirukural was translate more than 200 language. So when they translate, what they understand particular topic, that alone they may translate. Okay, suppose they understand another meaning, like that they are translate. So what problem happened means, some even the same, suppose about Ashoka, they are collecting information, means they are writing about Ashoka, means one writer, one translator, he wrote something. Okay, so another translator, he wrote something. So somewhat controversy happened the time of translating because of the language difficulty. Okay, these and that happened. That's why suppose you are going to become historian, you are going to be archaeological department, means you may face this like difficulties. Okay, so the translating works, everything happened in that period. Okay, so what are the things they translate, and they are keep, suppose nowadays also whenever we are going to field trip, often we see some museum. Last year also we are going to we went to Pudukkottai. So in that museum they are preserve the very precious things. Okay, so like that the manuscripts and the inscriptions and old records, what are these things are preserved one place. The place is called as archives. Okay, so where the documents and manuscripts are stored or keep safely, that places is called as archives. Okay, so clear everything. So why the historian depends the old records, old events, that like inscription and architectures, what are the difficulties faced by the translators, everything you're supposed to clear, no? Yes. Next, we are going to be discuss about new social and political group. Okay, new social and political group. Particularly the year of 750 CE to 1750 CE. In this time, a variety of people, okay, variety of people, they are coming to India. They started to settle. They started to rule. That and all already we discussed. Okay, so while the time of people coming to India, a variety of development, various development happened in India. So what are the development happened in India means, particularly some new technologies introduced in India. Okay, before itself the people used somewhat very old technology. When many people arrived in India, they introduced a new technology. What are the technology? New technology was introduced in India means, particularly Persian wheels, spinning wheels and firearms. Okay, Persian wheels, spinning wheels and firearms. What do you mean by Persian wheel? This Persian wheel is used for irrigation purpose. Okay, so before and all, in our country depends rain, or suppose the particular village belongs to river bank, means they are making canals. So like that they are using, particularly the wheel cultivation was very less. But after the people they entering our country, they introduce the wheel system. Okay, for taking water from well. Okay, so that only called as Persian wheel is very useful for irrigation activity. Next is spinning wheel. A spinning wheel is used for us weaving activity. That and all we will discuss 5th and 6th lesson. How the spinning wheel was working, how the changes will happen, everything we will discuss upcoming lesson also. Upcoming lesson. Next, firearms. Firearms. What do you mean by firearms? Means nowadays the time of playing, you are using gun like that. No. So that firearm also introduced in this particular time. Before that time, the kings were used only bow and arrows and some javelins for time of war. Later only, when Babur comes to India, when he started to rule, he only introduced the gun and cannon in India. Okay, so that changes also happened in this particular time alone. Next, some new food and beverages also arrives in India. What do you mean by beverages? Means some eatable things. Okay, so what are the new food item introduced in India? Means potatoes. Okay, potato is not belongs to our country food. That also taken by some other people, some various people of the world. Okay, same like corn. I think you all very interested to eat corn, and chilies, green chilies and red chili. This also taken by Persian people or other people, particularly European people, I think so. They are taking chili to India. Then coffee and tea. this also not belongs to our country. Okay, next, what happened this period means many people they move, great mobility happened in this period. What do you mean? What do you mean by great mobility means? The people often move one particular place to another place for search of job opportunity. Suppose I said before itself, new kingdoms started to rule, particularly Muslim rulers started to rule. The time of they started to rule, they are taking, while they coming from their country, automatically they are taking normal people from their country, and that normal people started to settle India. So when the mobility happened in time, what happened means they started to clearing forest. In that time, India had a vast range of forest, particularly Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra river bank side. We have vast forest land. So that forests were cleared by the kings for settle down their people. Then the forest land was cleared for agriculture activity and people habitation. Habitation means for settling. Okay, so for this reason they clear the forest. Okay, so when the mobility of group of people mobilize from one place to another place, for that reason they clearing forest, and the forest land was utilized for agriculture activity. So when the agriculture activity developed, automatically the economic development uh, happened very fast manner. So when people settled one particular place, who dominated, who was very dominant person in that group, he was a superior personality in that group. So slowly the jadi system, nowadays you often hear the word jadi. So this jadi system also entered in our country in this particular time only, this 1000 year only, the jadi system, caste system introduced. How the caste system was introduced means, who had large amount of land, or who had wealthy, who was very wealthy, that they are considered as a upper caste people. Okay, so who was very poor, who was not having land, who was very poor condition in their economic, they are considered as a lower caste. So like the jati system was emerged. Last year we studied, in that time there is no jati system. Instead of jati system they followed varna. Okay, like Kshatriya, Sutradas, Vaishyas, Brahmanas, like that Varna system they followed. So but now this 1000 years, 700 CE to 8th century to 18th century, this time alone Jadi system emerged. Jadi is not coming from the beginning, in the middle period only Jadi system was emerged in India. Okay, so that too we will discuss 8th lesson. In your 8th lesson, how the people suffered because of jadi, that all we are going to be discuss the same history book itself. Okay, the last topic of our this lesson, this particular lesson, thinking about the time and historical period. So in this topic, I said before itself, the end of the beginning of 18th century, particularly 1750, the British people, the European people, they started to come to India. They started to trading activity. So when they comes to India, many learned people, okay, many studied people, they come along with the traders and they settled here. So when they started to settle, British people divide Indian history into 3 categories. Okay, so what are the 3 categories means? Hindu period, Muslim period and British period. So this like they divide Indian history. Last year we studied Indian history is divided into 3 different manner: early history, medieval history and modern history. But the British government, they divided 3 different categories of Indian history. One is Hindu history. Hindu history means the time of before 750 CE. Okay, before 750 CE, the rulers, the people, the lifestyle of people, everything they describe in this Hindu period. So Muslim period means the time of 750 CE to 1750 CE. So in that time, fully India was ruled by 90 percentage of Muslim kings. That's why they decided, they classified as a Muslim period. So after 1750, whole India slowly started to rule by British people. That's why they mention British period. Okay, so like that they divide Indian history into three categories. So now we conclude the lesson. So from the beginning of the lesson up to now, what we discussed means what are the changes happened through these 1000 years. Okay, 750 CE to 1750 CE. What are the changes happened, particularly about cartographer we discussed, and where the manuscripts and inscriptions are stored, the archive that we discussed, what are the sources of historians that we discussed, and new social and political group, why the many people comes to India, where they settled India, how they settled, how they cleared, why they clear forest, how the agriculture activity started, these things everything we discussed. And last, why the British divided Indian history into three different categories, that too we discussed. Okay, so I scan all the pages of this lesson. I sent you through WhatsApp. Just go through the full lesson. Whether you have any doubt means you can call me and you can clarify your doubt, and we will send a worksheet to you. You have to complete that worksheet. Whether you have any doubt in that worksheet, you can you can call me and I will clarify to you. Okay, understood? Thank you, my kids.